Why are we back in Canada?
Today we're at EPCOT because we're in our favorite country. It's one of our favorite countries.
We're going to Cellier again.
The menu has updated and it's your number one choice for foodie infotainment. We're here to try the new things so you don't have to. Remember, she's vegan. I'm not. I want my official Canadian badge now, please.
It's time to foodie and chill. Last time we were here, which was about 3 months ago, I tried the other bread. So this time I'm going to do the pretzel because I have been thinking about this pretzel all weekend. It is literally my favorite, and it comes with an earth balanced butter with maple and salt. I maintain that the pretzel bread at Le Cellier is better than any pretzel on Germany of EPCOT. I stand on business, like, it is what it is. Flame me in the comments, but I'm telling you, the pretzel is better in Canada than it is in Germany. I will give it a 5 out of 5. It is a princess's item. You must bread yourself.
This bread service is a thing of dreams. You could almost come here and fill up exclusively on this bread if they let you. And honestly, they would. But I love the maple sea salt and the butter, and then the bread that like represents different provinces. I know I go on and on about this relentlessly every time we come here, but I love a bread that's on theme. The fact that they build in influences from every province into their meals, in addition to the rooms being themed for that. It gets me here. I'm in my inner adopted Canadian. Overall, in general, I'm not usually a fan of buttered bread. If it's like buttered for like a theme or it's on point, I'll deal with it. I don't usually like adding butter to bread. This is the one place where I have to like restrict myself from putting too much because I will slather, okay? Like a slip and slide level of slipperiness of butter on my bread if I'm not careful. 4.75 out of 5 plus.
My friends, I present to you the plant-based poutine. Never on the menu, but always available. One of the few places you can get Violife and Miyoko's cheese together. They make their own demi-glaze here, and it's gluten-free. The truffle is strong with this one. I do kind of wish the cheese was a little bit more melted. It just kind of feels like it's room temperature. I don't know. Please, if you are Canadian, please comment and tell me like what temperature your cheese curds are supposed to be. Maybe I've got it wrong, but I thought they were supposed to be like warm, like half melted kind of. I think that this is a meal in and of itself, which is why we don't order it very often because it has to be shared. But if you want, it's your vacation, just come here and order poutine and leave. People do that all the time, so enjoy it. Either way, it is a 5 out of 5. It is a princess's item and a requirement if you've never been to Le Cellier before. Considering this is our 5th time here this year alone, we order it off and on.
This poutine is legend, wait for it, dairy-free. We love that we come and get this. It's been one of our favorite things on the menu for years. We highly recommend, even if you don't want to commit to a steakhouse. Plant-based, not plant-based, come here, get poutine and drinks. This place it does have a walk-up list. I know that sometimes it can be kind of full, but trust me, it is worth the wait. It is a place that we recommend to all our friends. It's a place that we bring our friends. We love the staff here. The culinary team is amazing. Cast members are amazing. There's really no bad reason to come here, honestly. It's still as good as it always is. I feel, though, you can use like a small torch for the cheese, just like a quick torch to like melt all of it down. The cheese is warm, but not like none of it's melted. And it's not usually hella melted, but I would like to see some melty cheese on here. With the demi-glaze, you just elevate this to like beyond space. It's still a 5 out of 5 claws for me. There is never a time I come here and do not want to order the poutine. I'm usually only limited by the fact that we come here when there's 2 things on the menu. I need to order those first, so I don't have any room left for the poutine. Easy recommendation. That's not a hack. It's not a secret. That's just facts. this would be part of what is summoned as back to the Cellier Oysters Rockefeller. You have these huge, massive oysters with the spinach and herbs on top, the breadcrumb, buttered. Oysters Rockefeller are actually named for Rockefeller because of their richness. Even though these originate from New Orleans, our like sister town, at least we consider it our sister town, have these massive, absolutely massive oysters. I'm going to scoop and then suck this whole thing down. Get your minds out of the gutter. I'm just here for the food. Deliciously steamed. Got nice butter on top. It's like butter, but not a butter pool. The oyster itself is like just soaked in the butter, so when you bite into it, it's just like a wave of buttery goodness. The breadcrumbs give it a nice like texture gradient. Obviously, if you have a problem with oyster texture, I wouldn't recommend these. But if you wanted to try oysters, I think this would be an awesome first time to try oysters if you were so inclined. The spinach does help with sort of like the briny, like ocean flavor that you normally get with like seafood. And honestly, it just feels like a self-treat. I feel treated. I would give these a 4.25 out of 5 plus.
I had the lamb salad the last time that we were here. It hasn't really changed, but it is very delicious because all of the pieces of it are sourced from Living with the Land. So how could you not want to eat a little piece of Living with the Land? There are many places around Walt Disney World property where you can get a salad sourced from the land. I do particularly enjoy the one from Jiku, and there's one at Tiffin's also that's pretty tasty. I always thought this salad was a little bit citrus forward, but that bite almost tasted like I was eating a burger. Like all the like pieces that come with the crunch and the flavoring and everything, it was like serving burger with lettuce, and I'm enjoying that. So I'm going to give it a 4.75 out of 5 salads. It tosses my salad even more than I thought it would.
Land salad, I think what makes this salad so attractive is that as humans, I don't want to go so far to call us civilized, but as humans, we have such a disconnection with where our food comes from. So being actually able to go to Living with the Land and see exactly where it is, the lettuce and everything else in your salad are coming from, it triggers something internal, I believe. Not to mention, most of these iterations around the park are usually fairly good. A nice fork fill here. Fold fork filled. I'm usually very hesitant about like strong citrus flavors in my salad. But honestly, in this salad, those mandarin oranges with the seeds sort of like balances out both the strength of the citrus and the earthiness of the seeds to just make a nice crunchy salad with like some bright ingredients. It feels like a very good winter salad, if that means anything. And I actually think it tastes quite good. If you are a salad fiend, and I am, I think it's worth an order. I would give it 4 out of 5 plus. If it's one thing that this restaurant is never at a miss for, it is new cuts of meat. And it's brand spanking new in this wine cellar of sorts is this braised lamb shank. So this is a full entree, not a butcher cut, but it's this nice braised lamb to the point where it would fall off the bone. You have some black barley risotto, some braised fennel in here, some maple carrots, but all of the things. Now I brought the knife because, you know, why not? But honestly, it doesn't look like I'm going to need it because it is literally fall off the bone tender. Let's try it. Let me break all pieces aside. I don't really got enough meat in that. Maybe it's not fall off the bone tender. Maybe I'm just visually challenged. There we go. Yeah, there we go. No knife required. It is a nice, tender, succulent lamb. Emphasis on the succulent part. It is very tasty, not overly rich. The braising, like, moist all the way through. You get a nice, tender meat. It feels like a quality serving of lamb. I give the braised lamb on its own a 4 out of 5 plus. It's not really the best lamb I've had, or even the best shank I've had on property, but it's still really good. As for the fixins, around this lamb. Get a little bit of lamb, get a little bit of the braised or the barley risotto here on the bottom, some of the carrots. Hell, I'll even go in for a tiny amount of the fennel. The barley risotto reminds me very heavily of the farro fried rice as far as texture that we got at Chef Mickey years ago. But with the maple carrots and the sauce, it takes on a much sweeter texture. Not like candy sweet, but leaning more towards sweet than savory, which I think balances out well with the lamb, so you don't feel like everything on your plate is overly rich in flavor. Rich in culture, but not rich in flavor. I'll give the entire dish a solid 4 out of 5 claws. If you are a lamb connoisseur, you will not miss with this dish.
This is the cauliflower side. This is the newest side to the Le Cellier menu. I did get it last time that we came here in lieu of the cauliflower steak, and I just prefer it more than the cauliflower steak because of the sauce that they put on there. You can change the components of the cauliflower steak, but I don't know. I just think getting it as a side is better, and maybe not doing cauliflower steak as an entree is a good idea. Cheers to a beautiful side. The Cassis vinaigrette is delicious, and it's definitely something that I've been thinking about. Last time we came, I took home half of the cauliflower and I ate it for lunch the next day at work, and it was even better microwaved. Even though I don't usually like to reheat in the microwave, I usually only reheat in the oven. It was delicious microwave. So I would say if you do want the cauliflower, just go with the side and skip the entree. The entree needs some help. Also, 3 months ago when we came, our server offered us to be able to switch out some of the sides on the cauliflower steaks. You could do that with more cauliflower if you wanted to. They also offered us a pasta, which is now no longer available. So I would say just go with the cauliflower. It is a 5 out of 5. It is a Princess Cities item. It's a delicious side, and it's so much better than the carrots they used to have.
Cassis vinaigrette, I wonder if that has any relation to the creme de cassis that we used to put in our margaritas at the house.
The Neil Patrick Harris drink habit.
Ah, yes. The Black Magic as well did have the creme de cassis. Interesting. These things, they come back around when you're a foodie. You recognize things and other things, which isn't a bad thing. It's just a thing. More than the vinaigrette, I appreciate the smokiness of the cauliflower. It sort of like haunts the flavor of the cauliflower, but not like Terrifier haunting. Think more like Casper haunting. Friendly haunting. It was a nice deep flavor it makes for an amazing side, whether it's split or taken by yourself whole. It's a good dish. I'll give that 4.25 out of 5 claws.
The standard for Brussels sprouts at Walt Disney World for, I want to say, like the duration of our channel has always been Le Cellier. Close runner-ups, Turf Club, Toledo. I'm missing one. But either way, these are the ones. These are the ones to dream about. These are the ones to get. They are fried, so take that for what you will. I only want one, not two. It's too many. Okay, here we go. Two of the best Brussels sprouts at Walt Disney World. There's maple sweetened, which I love. We actually, for Thanksgiving, made maple Brussels sprouts just because that's how much we love it. We'll probably make it for Christmas, too, when we cook Christmas dinner, which is like a big thing. Thanksgiving this year, we did 6 different vegan meats and then a whole bunch of sides, so we had a feast, and the Brussels sprouts were, I would say these ones, though, are still the bar and still the ones that we strive to make at home and compare to all other Brussels sprouts around park property. I don't even care that there's raisins in it, and I am not a dried fruit person at all. So if that is any indication of how good these are, take that for what you will. I would give them a 5 out of 5. They are a Princess Cities item, and they are a must anytime you come to Le Cellier. Remember, you can take boxes. You're also not obligated to get entrees if you don't want them. So eat to your heart's content.
The Brussels, the golden raisins, the ambiance of Canada. I asked for nothing more in life. All I have to say is that these Brussels are a bar for a reason. We've eaten at a lot of restaurants. The number, not important, but a lot of restaurants. You've had Brussels sprouts and many different foods, many different ways. There are very few foods, even within their category, that ever become like our bar for something. Just legitimately, like, there's these Brussels sprouts and then everything else. I don't even care about the order because these are always at the top. 5 out of 5 claws. They're on the Mercedes list. I would come and just eat this.
You have.
I have. I in fact have come and eat just these before.
One beer that will never let you down, that's always vegan, is the Collective Arts Beer Collection. And there's always one at a festival booth in Canada, and they have them here at Le Cellier. Unfortunately, a lot of the liquors here are not vegan. Crown is not vegan. Ice Wine is not vegan. So you gotta stick with beer or a limited number of wines. Cheers. I love this guava goes. I've had it before. I've gotten it at CityWorks, and I think a couple of other places, like some local places. I really like it. I love a good sour beer, so it's like the perfect amount of sour, and it's got this great like guava to it. So I would give it a 4 out of 5 beers. It is delicious.
If you're going to find me anywhere, you can consistently find me with my face in a glass tub or pool of anything even close to a Belgian triple. La Fin du Mans is one of my favorite beers, and when I come here and I'm not in the mood for an old-fashioned, this is usually going to be my adult beverage of choice. It drinks sort of like a complex liquid bread. That's one of those beers, not just a beer, it's an experience. The aromas, the flavors, the viscosity in your mouth, that's a ride. It's like a sleigh ride. Given the time of year, that works. I give that 4.5 out of 5 claws.
The last time that we were here, we got this dessert, and it came with the most gorgeous cookie on it, like a Biscoff cookie, and I loved it. Unfortunately, it was not gluten-free, and there was a lot of our gluten-free friends here ordering this, so they removed the cookie, and they added this, like, walnut little topping on here. So this is the whole thing. We got an extra banana because they're actually out of the chantilly. Well, they do have the chantilly, but it's not frothing to their liking, so they're not serving it. They're just doing an extra banana. And you know, I don't blame them. If you don't want to put your best foot forward, chef, then don't do it. But I like all the components. Really, my favorite part of this, though, was the cookie. So I'm excited to see how the walnuts compare to the cookie. And then, of course, the banana is the star. And the way that they sugar glaze the banana is so amazing. Well, I couldn't get a blueberry. I tried, but I got some banana. And I'm eating with the wrong hand. So, cheers. Oh, yeah. That tastes more like a banana split than the last version of this. I do think it's funny that if you go to Beaches and Cream and you try to ask for a vegan banana split, they'll actually tell you no. It's one of, like, you can't get a kitchen sink and you can't get a banana split there vegan. They won't do it. But you can come to Le Cellier and you can get probably the best banana split you will ever have at Disney World. So take that, Beaches and Cream. 5 out of 5. It is a Princess Cities item. It is got beautiful crunch with the walnut. It has a brightness with the ice cream that's vegan. The way that they caramelize the banana is just exquisite. It really brings out the flavors of the banana. So huge win.
I love a good banana anything. So banana with plant-based all the things. It's something that I can actually have, being dairy deficient myself. I am completely on board. I'm excited for this walnut crumble, actually. Caramelized bananas always remind me of my grandmother's banana pudding recipe. And once you hit that level, you got me. I fold like paper towels. That warm caramelized banana with the contrast of the plant-based cream with the walnuts, sold. Like, if I had to walk over hot coals to eat this, I would do that. 5 out of 5 claws. It's on the Bear Says list. I like the cookie. I thought it was incredibly hard to eat, but I honestly think this is an improvement. A maple creme brulee with gooseberries. Nice toasted gooseberries on top, and a nice creme brulee. There's some chantilly cream on here as well. I'll take the smallest of the bites. Doesn't have the top crackings, but it's got all the looks of a creme brulee. Nice caramelized sugar on top. The creme brulee. It's creamy. It's nice. It's mapley, but not overly rich. It's a nice, medium sweet dessert. I would give it 4 out of 5 claws. Another fabulous Le Cellier Steakhouse menu update. I just have one ask. Please stop.
Seriously. Seriously.
No more updates. Need a break.
Every single time that we see a menu update at Le Cellier now, as much as we love this restaurant, it is the best steakhouse at Walt Disney World. Bear's always like, do we have to?
I love this place, but we just went.
The answer is yes. Yeah, the answer is always we have to, because we got to bring you the new food. Always when it comes, try to do it at day one, unless this one is a stick in the mud. That's why you didn't get this video on Saturday, you're getting it today.
Yes. We definitely have leftovers for the next 3 days.
Yes.
We couldn't finish any of them.
Yes.
But it was all delicious. I love the new updates. Always in line and the quality that we expect from Le Cellier. The team, culinary, and the cast members are great as always. This is a place that we can't recommend enough to people that come here.
I think it's our 3rd most visited restaurant at Walt Disney World.
Yes. But we know what you guys think. Why don't you come to Le Cellier? I need to hear your brevity of excuses in the comments below.
They're all going to be wrong, though.
But, of course, if there's anything else to see us do, those comments will always be the place to find us. Hit the notification bell if you want to see other videos like this, and
we have new videos 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
We'll see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if you don't comment, well, I guess I've been too nice on my yeets with Bear, so I'm going to be yeeting him into meaner places. Bear's going to yeet himself inside of one of these Canada rocks and hurt himself immensely. Additionally, will not go to Le Cellier when they do another 2 menu updates. So if you don't comment, the chaos will ensue.
What did I do? Which I heard the girl. Bread coming in throat.